Hi everyone, welcome to Amechi Math Arena. If you are having difficulty with quadratic inequality, quadratic inequality, be it rational inequality, absolute value inequality, you are at the right place. My name is Amechi Fine Tobias, and I'm here to break quadratic inequality down to the simplest form that you can easily follow. So make sure you stick around to the end of this video, and then if you are coming across my video for the first time, do well to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so that you will not miss out of any of my videos. All right, today's class is actually a continuation of absolute value inequality part 1. So today's class is absolute value inequalities part 2. So it is a continuation of part 1. If you have not gone through absolute value inequalities part 1, I would advise you go through it before coming over to part 2 so that you will understand it better. Okay, absolute value inequalities part 2. We have some examples on the board. In this video, I will attempt number 2 and number 3. Okay, so in number 2, we are having solve for what values of x is the absolute value of this greater than or equal to 4. For what value of x is that absolute value greater than or equal to 4? Remember, in absolute value inequalities part 1, I made a statement that if it contains greater than or equal to, you will use the word or, use the word or. But I also said you don't need to put, you can solve it when you arrive at your answer. You check the two answers. Is it possible for the answer to be this and at the same time this other way? Then that will enable you to know if you should use the word OR or you should use the word AND. All right. So for the fact that it is greater than or equal to, it means we'll use the word OR. But if you don't know it, just solve, leave a little space. At the end of the day, you decide. So solution to question number 2. The absolute value of x over 2 minus 1 is greater than or equal to 4. So recall that this will become x over 2 minus 1 is greater than or equal to 4, or x over 2 minus 1 x over 2 minus 1 is less than or equal to negative 4. Less than or equal to negative 4. If you go through absolute value inequality part 1, you understand why I'm expressing it like this or like this. That's why I'm saying it is advisable you go through part 1 before coming over to part 2. All right. Or in summary, the absolute value of a number, let's say the absolute value of negative 4, the answer is positive 4. The absolute value of 4, the answer is still positive 4. So that's what happens here. It means that for the absolute value of this to be greater than or equal to 4, the negative of it will now be, you change the sign. All right. So from here, we can move this negative 1 over to this side, and when we do that, we have x over 2 is greater than or equal to 4 plus 1. The same thing with this one. Or if you move this negative 1 over to this side, you have x over 2 is less than or equal to minus 4 plus 1. And so this will give us x over 2 is greater than or equal to 5, or x over 2 is less than or equal to negative 1 plus 4 is negative 3. So at this point, we cross multiply. So if we cross multiply, we have x is greater than or equal to 2 times 5, which is 10. Or If we cross multiply, we have x is less than or equal to 2 times negative 3. That's negative 6. That's negative 6. That's negative 6. As you can see, it is not possible for a number to be greater than 10 and at the same time less than negative 6. So that was why I was saying, assuming you don't know that you should use the word OR, you can solve it, leave a little space. When you arrive at this answer, you now decide by asking yourself, is it possible for a number to be greater than or equal to 10 and at the same time less than or equal to negative 6? It is not possible. So since it is not possible, we use the word OR. If it is possible, we use the word and. So that is actually the answer to that particular question. That's answer to question number 2. That is the answer to question number 2. So quickly we look at question number 3. Okay, let me solve it here. Question number 3. All right, for question number 3, there is no solution. There is no solution. Question number 3, there is no solution. But you may be wondering, why am I saying there is no solution? Now, this is the reason. This is the reason. The absolute value expression will always give you an answer that is either 0 or greater than 0. It is either 0 or greater than 0. It will not give you a negative value. The absolute value expression will not give you a negative value. So for this expression to be, less than or equal to negative 8, it is not possible. It is not possible. So that's why I'm saying there is no solution. But assuming you don't know and you want to solve it, let's see. If you solve it, it will appear as if there will be an answer. So let's see what will happen. Assuming we want to solve this, take note, there will be no solution here. But assuming you want to solve it, this is what will happen. The absolute value of 2x plus 4 less than or equal to negative 8. So this means that 2x plus 4 is less than or less than or equal to negative 8. Remember, when it is less than, you use the word and. You use the word and. But if you don't know, you can always leave a space. So we use the word and. And so uh, 2x plus 4, the sign will change to this. Then this was negative 8, it will now become positive 8. The same thing we did here. 4, when the sign changes, it became negative 4. So less than or equal to 8, when the sign changes, it will become positive 8. All right. So from here, we'll see that 2x, when this 4 crosses over to this side, we have less than or equal to minus 8 minus 4. And 2x, when 4 crosses over to this side, we have greater than or equal to 8 minus 4. And so what's this? 2x less than or equal to negative 12 and 2x greater than or equal to 4. So if we divide both sides by by 2, we have x is less than or equal to negative 6 and x, we are dividing both sides by 2, greater than or equal to 2. Now, a mere looking at it, you see that this statement is not true. It is not possible for a number to be less than negative 6 and at the same time greater than 2. It is not possible. So, a mere looking at it, this statement is false. This statement is false. Okay, we can still proceed by testing some values. Like I said, there will be no solution here. But if you go ahead to solve it, already this statement is false. Already that statement is false. But let's see. Pick a number and put it there and see if the statement will be true. Pick any number, x is less than or equal to minus 6. Pick any number that is less than or equal to minus 6. Or you can pick a number like negative 7. Negative 7 is less than minus 6. So if we put negative 7, we'll have something like this. The absolute value of 2 times negative 7 plus 4. Now let's see. Let's see if the statement will be true. This times this will give us negative 14 plus 4. This will give us negative 10. This is not true because the absolute, this is false. It is not true because the absolute value of minus 10 is 10, and 10 is not less than negative 8. So it is false. It is false. Now, another way, let's pick a number like this one is x is greater than or equal to 2. Let's pick a number in that range. For example, 3. If we pick 3, for example, this place will become the absolute value of 2 times 3 plus 4. Let's see if the statement will be true. This will give us 6 plus 4. Of course, we are still having 10. I would have, okay, no problem, since that's the number we picked. And so you see, 10 is not less than or equal to it, so it is false, which therefore means that there is no solution to question number 3. So with that, we have come to the end of this particular video. Like I said, if you are just coming across my video for the first time, do well to subscribe and also hit the notification button. Thanks for watching.